Hey, everybody. LaQuanya Shante here, creator and founder of Enrich Marketing Academy. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Rose McCloud, CEO and founder of Rose Prosperity Rose Consulting. She is a mompreneur and she helps moms find their purpose and really get their voices heard without having mommy guilt. So, Rose, go ahead and introduce yourself, give people information on who you are and what you do, and then we're going to hop in. I have a few questions that I want to ask you, and go ahead. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, LaQuanya, for having me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rose McCloud. I am the owner of Prosperity Rose Consulting and founder of Reset with Rose. Reset with Rose is a program that I have created to help mompreneurs go from confusion to clarity in order for them to enhance their legacy without compromising motherhood. So, we all know that moms usually give up their entire lives to raise a family, and I was one of those moms. I stopped doing my dreams to do that. And so I decided that I wanted to remember, that I too have a voice and I too have dreams and goals, and I should be able to go after them at the same time that I'm doing motherhood. And so I help moms release that mommy guilt to be able to do that. Prosperity Rose Consulting, which is my parent company, is a company that helps corporations to create resources and programs for moms who do not want to be entrepreneurs, but who are looking to be corporate moms, but still need assistance with being able to create that life where they can work their 9 to 5 or 7 to 11s, whatever it is, and still give to their families and be mothers. And so I wanted to be on the forefront of being able to help those moms as well, because I've been on both sides of the table.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So Rose is not like me beating you over the head saying that you need to be an entrepreneur. She is actually an advocate for moms who believe that their place is in climbing the corporate ladder, as well as those that feel like that they should be a part of entrepreneurship. And that's, I'm all about making the choice that feels good for you. Like a job just wasn't the place for me. And so I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, but I know just from my experience over the last 9 years that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Everybody was not built for this journey. So that is absolutely amazing, Rose, that you are servicing and helping women on both sides of that coin. So, in your opinion, because you have been on both sides, what was the determining factor? How did you get to that crossword where that crossroad where you decided that you were ready to dabble, or you were ready to get serious about entrepreneurship?
Well, for me, it was the fight between working my job. Like I said, I want to work with the corporations to help them create the resources, because I was working a job that was in the insurance industry, one of the biggest, United States insurance providers there is. And I unfortunately was having trouble with staying at work when having to take care of my son, who is diagnosed with ADHD and Asperger's. And so, being a mom, having to take my son to doctor's appointments so that we can figure out the treatments, making sure that I'm present for school for him. Learning for him was difficult in what the traditional sense of learning was. And so, I had to advocate for my baby to make sure that I was able to give him what he needed in order for him to learn in the way that worked for him. And so, a lot of moms struggle with being able to do that, because we are fighting about having to pay bills. And so if I take off, I miss work and I don't get paid, or I'm using up vacation time, then I'm doing myself and my children a disservice at the end of the day, because now we're sitting there trying to figure out where we're going to live, putting a roof over our heads. But at the same time, I'm still doing my child a disservice because he's struggling. And what parent wants to see their child struggle? None of us. So that was the pivot for me. And also, too, I've always been a very bold person, where I didn't just subscribe to what everybody said to me. My father used to tell me my mouth was going to get me in trouble, because I never had a problem questioning things. And that included, bosses at jobs. So sometimes dealing with that authority thing was an issue for me. So you know what? I pay the cost to be the boss now. That's why I decided being a boss was going to work for me. And you're right, it's not for every mom. And when I realized that, I used to try to turn every mom that I saw who was struggling to be a mom and work a job into an entrepreneur. But when I realized that that wasn't the case, I sat down and, I asked my higher power, my God, I said, Lord, what is it that I can do to help this? Because I still feel like I'm unfulfilled just helping, the moms who want to build business. And it came to me that I would split my company into, a parent and a child company. And I would teach with Reset with Rose, the mompreneurs. And then I would advocate with Prosperity Rose Consulting for the 9 to 5 moms.
That's amazing. That's good. And that's so important. Like I said, I used to be that person too, especially when I got introduced to network marketing. That was a whole new world to me. And I felt like, especially from my background and where I came from just being, so out of control and selling drugs and doing all of these things. Like that was one of the things when I got introduced to network marketing, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is our meal ticket. This is a way for us, people from my community that were doing the same things and living the lifestyle that I was living. I was like, okay, this is a way for us to do things the right way and make legal money. And then when I brought that back, people was like, girl, no, that's a scam. We're not doing that. And it crushed me. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. I thought I was bringing something back that was going to be helpful. And so I had to really step back and say, you know what, this is my journey. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not necessarily what they supposed to be doing. And if they are, it's still going to take me being an example first for them to even gravitate and believe that it's possible. So how important is it for you to show women what's possible? Because I know for me being a coach, I'm sure you deal with the same thing with your client. Like how important is just believing that it's possible for those that want to transition from a 9 to 5 job and they're interested in your reset program for mompreneurs? How important is it that they have that right mindset to believe that they can be successful without a 9 to 5 job?
We're talking how important. Um, it's essential. It's absolutely essential. It's a non-negotiable. Let's put it like this: anyone that I speak to, I let them know you're not ready to run a business until you're ready to run yourself. That is literally how bold I am. So I am quick to tell them reset is not about me teaching you how to brand and build your business. I give you foundations, but we won't even get into branding until I feel like, you have gotten to that place where when I have a conversation with you, you can boldly tell me what it is you want to do, who it is that you are, and come hell or high water, you don't care who says what, you're pushing on. If you end up like I did a few weeks ago in a room on Clubhouse with nobody in there, you're not going to go lay in the bed the next day and say, forget this, I'm not doing this. You're going to get up and say, all right, well, you know what? Let me figure out a solution to make this better. So I changed the time of the event. And I said, well, let's see if this timing works better. And then I started reaching out to moms in mother groups that I knew and said, hey, listen, I got this room. I need some people to come up in here with me. And I reached out to my coach and I said, hey, coach, this happened. Okay, what we do to pivot? I didn't drop everything and say, forget it, because one thing happened that screwed me up. And so that is the biggest thing for a entrepreneur is consistency and keeping going, even when it doesn't look like there's any light at the end of the tunnel. And so with Reset, what I do is I teach moms to first get yourself in that strength, bold mindset where you are able to say, you know what, I've restored my spirit. I've restored my spirit. I know that without a shadow of a doubt, no matter what comes my way, my spirit cannot be broken. I've elevated my mind. I've moved myself away from all of these people, places, and things that have kept me bound and kept me down. I've surrendered to my journey. I stopped looking at everybody else on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and letting that imposter syndrome make me feel like I'm not good enough and I'm not capable, and that my voice is not the voice that is supposed to help to deliver other people through these processes that they're going through. I surrender strictly to what path is there for Rose, and then to execute. And I call myself an execution strategist. It was actually a term that LaQuanya gave me, goal and execution coach, because one of the things that she says as she's coached me, I will take what I am given and I will implement. And that is something I need women to understand. Mompreneurs, no matter what knowledge we have, if you sit on your knowledge and you do nothing with it, it is worthless. So
Mhm.
implement that knowledge. And then at that point, you transform. You execute, you transform. You can't help but transform once you've restored, elevated, surrendered, executed. You transform. And so that is what reset is all about. And
So
that's
give it to
why
them
it's so.
again. What is the R, the E, the S, the E, the T? What is all the, in case they're taking notes? Give that to them again because that's good. So the R is for
It's restore, elevate, surrender, execute, transform.
that's good. And that's reset.
And that is reset. And I believe that, you can't be a mompreneur talking about branding. We all know that, and LaQuanya and I in the training that we've had in marketing, branding is not your logos and your colors. That's your visual, of your brand, but that's not branding. Branding is you yourself, being able to take your message and to hone that and to craft that into something that is uniquely you that other people can see. So Chick-fil-A, they brand it with those cows and their visual brand, but Chick-fil-A's brand is their customer service. That's why
Mhm.
people keep coming back to them. It's the my pleasure that you get at the end of every service experience with them. So, you have to be able to find that within yourself. And so I believe that there is no point in you getting coaching from LaQuanya Shante on how to market and automate your business if you have not figured out how to get up every morning and say, even when it feels like I can't do this, I got to keep pushing. If you can't do
Mhm.
that, it's no point in you trying to do anything else. You need to start with your reset first.
Yes, and that's absolutely true. And I want people to know though, I don't want them to get it misconstrued. I want them to understand that, when you started working with me last year, you you wasn't this Rose right here. You wasn't as cool. So like what happened? What changed?
So I grew up with my father telling me that because I was such a boisterous child. So, I used to sing in school all the time, and that was my voice, was my gift, was singing. And I thought that's what I was supposed to do, in my life. And my father used to say to me, because I talked a lot and things like that, and I challenged authority, my voice, my mouth was going to get me in trouble. And, little did he realize and understand that this was actually going to be the thing that God would call me to use as my ministry to change lives. And so, all my life, I began to conform to, what was considered the normal professional way that a woman should show up and should act, and kept my voice quieter than what I really truly felt on the inside, because I thought that that was the way to make the impact. But the problem with that, I was unhappy. I was, going through life pleasing everybody but Rose. And I felt like I got to stop that. I got to admit, network marketing was actually how I started to find my voice again. I started in Mary Kay in 2013, and Mary Kay put me in position to, walk around, and was so bold enough catching the bus in Charlotte, North Carolina, running my Mary Kay business, grabbing up women with me who worked in Mary Kay who had trouble with talking to clients, walking them out to the mall and just approaching people saying, hey, excuse me, would you like to? And people were like, wow, wow, wow. And like LaQuanya said, then again, I went through some things, that put me in position where I was homeless and I was struggling. And I was like, how can I be preaching this to people and I'm not living these things? And so I quieted my voice again for a little while, and I kept going back and forth with that. And it just happened that when I had to get bold enough to worry about being a mom for my son and standing up for him, and when I had to sit back and realize, I saw a quote in a charity office one day. It said, "You have survived 100% of the things you've been through." And that took me down this path to ask God, about what was this about? Why did I see that quote? Because it was so true and it touched me so much that, that's true. I have survived everything. I never quit. I reset. And that's when it really, really just hit me. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? You got to do something about this. So I started. It took me 3 years to get to Laquanya, guys. I want y'all to know that. It took me 3 years of just writing out what I thought reset was to me. And I told her when I met her, I said, I got a program. Like, this is, I have a speech. I thought it was just a motivational speech. I never thought it was a course, a movement, something like that. And so she heard that in my passion for what I spoke about. And she used her expertise as a coach to say, okay, this is what we can do with this. So for those of you who are listening, who are coaches, coaches need coaches. Just want to, add that little caveat. You better get you one. So get you one, okay? It's extremely important, and I'm willing to be that.
Wait, Rose, wait, and I'm gonna interrupt you there too. You didn't always feel that way, because I know that your bold, boisterous self told me that when you came to me, you were very honest, and you said, you know what? I hesitated on booking this call with you because I was like, who do you think you are charging this much for somebody to get on the phone with you? And then what happened?
Oh, yes. And I was. I will tell y'all this. July 2nd, 2020 is a day that I will never forget. It was 17 days before.
The day and everything.
17 days before my 30th birthday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I picked up my phone and I called Laquanya Shante for our scheduled appointment. And I did not have any grand expectations of that phone call. Because again, like she said, and she telling the truth, she tells people, all the time, because I surely did. Like I said, I've never been afraid to speak and say what I needed to say. It was just figuring out how to come out there and continue to be that bold and care a little more, about being able to do that in certain circles. I might have been afraid in certain situations to be this bold. But on that day, after our conversation, I had gotten so much clarity in where I was going and what I wanted to do. It moved me in my spirit that I had to tell her. I said, this was a learning experience for me, not just in the information you gave me to take for my business, but in understanding where, I believe that we are all put on this earth and assigned to helping one another, whether we help them without monetary payment or bartering, or even helping them when we have to pay for services. That's still getting help. You're paying for that service. And I did. I said $99. It was a whole week before I actually booked with her, after I had, hit her up on Facebook and said, oh, I see whatever. And she sent me a link and I said, she out her mind. Pay you $100 to talk to you, like whatever. But something in my spirit knew that I was supposed to, because something wouldn't let me stop thinking, like, you know what, just find this money, girl, and just put this down. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I paid that money to her, we were in the process of getting ready to sign the next year of the lease on our apartment. And at the moment, I didn't have my rent money. I ain't have my rent money. And I was like, this $100 is about to be coming off my rent money. Like, I'm literally taking a huge gamble right now to give somebody $100 and hope that I don't get the same, preach to me fluff that I've gotten in other coaching situations, where I walked away still confused and not sure of what actions to take after the fact. Y'all, I got on that call with Laquanya, and after the fact, I began to take action. So July 2nd, 2020, and it is now January 7th, 2021. Do you hear that? Do you see that? You listen to me and you see and you listen and hear what I've gone through. You see on social media how I've made that transition and that change. I say that to tell y'all that it's possible to be able to put yourself in this very same position that I'm in, I am no different and no better than anybody else who wants to take this journey and to do this. You know, the only difference with me is when I said, this is what I'm going to do, I stayed consistent and did the work. That's the only difference. And the thing I love the most about LaQuanya is she never takes the credit that is due to her for helping me to get to this space. Every time I praise her, she turns around and says, "But it's you. You doing the work. I told you you had it."
Yes,
So,
and that's what I that was one of the things before I tapped into the coaching space, because everybody a coach. They take a course and now they're a coach in that space. And I never wanted to be perceived as that person, but I understand not walking into the fact that I am a coach. I am a consultant. I am a marketing genius. Like I had to start to own my gifts. Like I've always been a nerd, and that was what I was bullied for. And that is the very thing that has made me a multiple six-figure earner online. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for losing the people pleasing thing that really used to have me in bondage, where I was so focused on being liked that I was not happy. I was so worried about people judging me because I had gold teeth that I would not show up and really share the stuff, because I created this hard outer shell. So I had a mouthful of gold teeth. I wanted people to think, oh, she a gangster. But deep down inside, I was a computer geek. I was a nerd. I was a person who wrote poetry behind the scenes. And, I read books when other people was, outside playing. I was in the house reading books and doing puzzles. Like I was not, I was not sure that that person was who I was supposed to be, but I kept wrestling with that person. Like, this is what you enjoy doing. Why are you not doing it? I always got fired from jobs, or I always found myself in a situation where, like you said, I just could not respect authority that I knew, like, I know more than you, girl. Like, people would get in trouble at work on the job that I was working on, because I would, when it came to us doing the work a certain kind of way, I would show them a shortcut, or I would show them an easier way to get to the same result that the job was telling us to do. And so people be like, why are you doing it like that? That's not how we do it. Oh, LaQuanya showed me this, and it was just, I was like, okay, I'm trying to fit in somewhere that I don't belong. And so the internet allowed me to really tap into that. And when we had our conversation on the phone, I seen so much of me in you. You were compressing this voice. Like, I know that I am very controversial. I will say things that I'm not gonna say I shouldn't say them, because they're how I feel. And the world has made us to where we are saying what we feel like people want to hear versus saying how we truly feel. People are not willing to have uncomfortable conversation. And so I bring that into my coaching. When I talk to somebody and they pay me to get on the phone, you're not paying me to get on the phone to sugarcoat stuff and tell you stuff that's not going to get you results. I have to be bold enough to tell you, girl, no, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You don't need to be doing it that way. I know what so-and-so told you to do, but trust me and do it this way. And so I seen that in you. Like, I seen that you had that boldness, but for some reason you wasn't you just wasn't tapping into it. And so what made you, because I know you kind of dibbled and dabbled for a while, because I remember you came to me and you said, girl, you posted such and such, such and such. I never would have posted nothing like that. But you know what? I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm gonna put that on my page too, because that's exactly how I feel. And like, what changed, and how has you tapping into this new bold roles? How has that changed your business? Because I know, although you haven't just became a millionaire overnight, you've definitely seen some fruits of your labor. Let's just say that. So,
so
like,
the thing that really has helped with that and what I've seen is just that peace in my spirit. First of all, that's one thing I want everyone to understand. And I think that's something that why I gravitate to the moms, because we have the least amount of peace in our spirits of anyone I think in this world. I don't think anyone understands that when you are a mother, the what you carry on the inside. When you worry about your children and you worry about your family and you worry about your boyfriends, your husbands, your significant others, whatever they may be, when you are concerned for, just health, safety, and everyone else but yourself. And you should be more concerned about yourself too, but you just don't feel like you can find the time and you feel guilty for even thinking about that, and so that's a turmoil in your spirit alone. And so this has really helped my spirit. But for me, I always had this picture of what I thought, what society bred for us to be. And let me be clear, and I'm going to say it because I am, like I said, I am on that path of just being bold enough to do it. It was this picture of what I felt like white America was saying we were supposed to act like and portray ourselves to be. Otherwise, we could not fit in to work with them. And let me tell y'all something. What's amazing is that the majority of the people who I have spoken to in the last few months who have talked to me about, whether it be an accountant, whether it be payroll for my business, whatever it was, they have all talked to me and have been like, wow, whoa, look at you, amazing, your voice, oh man, yeah, I can see. And I'm like, hold up. And I just been as casual, nonchalant, for real with them. I told them straight up, I'm trying to get all this paperwork and stuff adjusted and in the right order because I don't want to do hood business no more. Y'all go out there, we grab up some paperwork, we think we doing business, and we ain't really doing it the legal way. But just because you do it the legal way does not mean that it has to be some picture of perfection of this professional. Yes, okay, so I'm just going to be. And I love that LaQuanya was able to, sit with me and talk with me and hear that in my voice and say, listen, just go ahead and be real with it. And let's just let the authentic Rose shine out. Because let me tell you, Black, white, Asian, Spanish, whatever, men, women, whoever, everyone who I have began to speak with, everyone who has heard the sound of my voice, it has been what they have said to me this entire time was that, it is my voice that they have resonated with. And look at that, with all of these years that I've struggled to figure out what is my purpose? What am I doing with this reset project? How is this going to work out? And it was my voice. And it's interesting because part of the reason I kept on the journey, and I do want to say, I have a friend named Sierra Shanae, and Sierra wrote a book called Don't Muzzle Your Message. And it was her book that when I started this journey made me say, you got to put this message out here. So even though when I met LaQuanya, I wasn't this bold in my speaking it out, I was still working my way through finding how to say it. And so that's what I want to tell, mompreneurs. You may not be just yet ready to get out here and do this, but that's what Reset is about. Reset is about taking you from where that dream and that goal and that idea is in your mind and helping you get to that point where you are able to take that baby that is sitting in you and birth that out of your voice and use your voice in order to transform someone else's life. Because it's not all about what is there for you. And the tremendous changes that I've seen in my life is, me watching and seeing people being impacted by my voice, me being in a position where I'm now being a good steward of my finances because I realize that, when my money comes, I need to be able to do certain things. LaQuanya has been very instrumental in that, and she doesn't even know that part of, just being authentic and honest about, y'all, I had tickets. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I need to do that, and understanding that I'm in debt, but I can get out of these things because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, living in my purpose and properly using the income I'm making from transforming lives. My impact is making my income, which is transforming my life. And so I want moms to understand it's possible. You have it, it's in you, it's there. And do not subscribe to quote unquote normal. Like I'm starting a campaign, and I'm going to be starting a campaign that crosses out the word normal. And it's no such thing. I don't believe in it. And I want moms to understand that because I think that's where we fall short, that we believe this is a normal thing. This is where we should be as mothers. We need to stifle and do this and do that and live this kind of way. I'm like, look, boo, this ain't the 1950s and this ain't what it's gonna be for me. I'm not subscribing.
Yeah.
Period.
And you have to create your normal. So normal is real, but your version of normal may be different from mine, or mine may be different from somebody else. Because normal for me is door dashing every day, but normal for somebody else is cooking a meal for their family every day. But it just depends, like on what your normal is.
Right. And that's what I mean when I say cancel the normal. I want to cancel the perception that everybody's normal is the same, because it's not.
Yes,
and it's okay,
absolutely
y'all.
not.
It's okay. That's why I tell you to surrender to your journey. It's okay that mine don't look like LaQuanya's. And I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. One of the things I struggled with when I did start, and because I think that this is important for every mompreneur to know, I struggled with not becoming a clone of my coach. I struggled being in that position where I wasn't thinking that everything she taught me I needed to implement in my business, as far as this is what I use to present to my clients. So, LaQuanya taught me how to automate my business. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I know how to do certain things. And now I'm gonna add this as a service for me. Listen, no, I'm not. I had this whole thing that I thought I was gonna put this on my business and add this. And I'm just being honest. No, LaQuanya, I don't want to do that. It was a good idea. It was a good gesture, but that's the other thing I want y'all to be willing to do, and find you a coach like LaQuanya who's willing to accept when you say to them, thanks for that. That was great guidance. I'm going to implement it into my business for my business to run, but it's not something I want to do and offer in my business. I'm okay stopping my money at helping moms to reset and get their mind right and giving them foundational branding information just to get them started, and then saying, go get them coins from LaQuanya to automate and do your brand and all of that, because Rose ain't about to do that.
And you know what?
But I ain't finna do that, because that's not what I want, and that's not what I believe I was here for.
And that's important, because you made a very valid point. And I am that coach, because there are coaches out there that want you to stay under their wing. They want to manipulate you to be a replicate of them. And I'm not that chick. I want people to be the best version of themselves. I don't want you to copy me. I don't want you to do what I'm doing, because hey, what's for me is for me, and what's for Rose is for Rose, and what's for whoever else is for them. And you made that point was so valid, because I've seen that firsthand, that people, they come to me, they see what I'm doing, they see the level of income that I'm earning. They may have been on a Zoom where I've showed my income, and they're immediately like, okay, that's what I want to do. No, it's not, because that's not what you were called to do. Marketing is the tool and the resource that connects me with the people that I'm supposed to help on a level that has absolutely nothing to do with marketing. Marketing is the bait that I throw out in order for people to get on the phone with me, and for us to have real live conversations where I can pour into them and I can tell them, look, you're not doing what you was called to do. You're supposed to be frying chicken, not doing marketing. You're supposed to be babysitting kids instead of frying chicken. Like, you got to find your thing. Just because you see somebody else doing something on social media, you cannot feel like, oh, they making money in that, I'm gonna do that too. No, you're not. You need to figure out what you're good at and monetize that. So that was a really, really great point that you made, because social media has made people become duplicates, and they're not tapping into their own gifts, and they're not allowing those gifts to make room for them, because they're too busy trying to emulate somebody else. So thank you so much for bringing that, because
Oh, yeah,
I see that all the
transparency. Right, transparent moment. We are in this collaboratory. We have the amazing Sade Burdow in this collaboratory, and Sade is awesome with these videos. Okay, and I be looking at Sade videos like, dang, like, look, man, I don't be doing no videos like that. Like, showing up and she's smiling and laughing and doing her little dances, and
on
it's
her
humorous.
TikTok.
Yeah, her TikToks, and my girl be getting them, and I be sitting up there like, dang, Rose, you need to. But then Rose had to remember, hold up, surrender to your journey. See, that's Sade's gift. Rose, your gift is your voice. They don't need to see you on no camera doing this and doing that. All they need to do is hear you speak. So
Mhm.
that's why I want y'all to get and understand that's what this reset process is all about. Really honing in and finding, who the hell am I? Who am I? Who am I? And what is it that I have that is unique to me that no one else can do like I do? Like, yeah, everybody else can speak, everybody else can talk, okay, but can't everybody talk like Rose? Everybody can't talk with the fierceness, the boldness, the passion, the insight, the authenticity that I speak with. And that is so important that you are able to find that in your own voice, in whatever way it is that you decide to show up in your business. And I want to help you get there.
Yes. So because we are 36 minutes in, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you are a busy woman and you are helping a lot of women. So give them the information. Do you have any type of ebooks, anything that they can download, any way that they can get in contact um with you or with your information that you have? Share that with them, and so that they can start getting access to your content.
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook at Reset with Rose. You can join, like my business page there, and join in on seeing the content that I share there in my business, and get some tips and some tricks on things that you can do through my business page. You can also, if you are a mompreneur struggling, you need a network, you're looking for other women who are dealing with what you're dealing with and building, you can join my Facebook group of the same name, also Reset with Rose. So I make it very easy for you to be able to find me. As well on Instagram, on Clubhouse, you can find me at Reset with Rose. So, again, it makes it easy for you to find me at Reset with Rose. And then my website, www.resetwithrose.com. When you go to my website, please click on the banner link that says download your free Mompreneurs game plan. It is free. It is a guide to help you to start on that journey as a mompreneur of what are the steps I should be taking to prepare myself to build my business. And then also click the link here, scrolling across your screen. If anything I've said tonight has resonated with you, click that link and book your consultation call with me so that we can start talking about how we can execute a strategy to help you to reset your life.
Yes, that is so amazing. I'm just so proud of you, because baby, in July, you was not this person. You have definitely evolved. I'm not going to even say evolved, because this person was already in you. And I was telling the young lady earlier, I was congratulating her on her success. And she was saying, you know what? I want you to know that you played a part in that. And so that is my currency. That is what I work for now. I can make money in my sleep. It's not me making money anymore. It's about me having stories like Rose and other women who can say, because she was bold, I was bold. I think that is my unique selling point. We talked about that in our last training in the boot camp. Is your unique selling point. The fingerprint of your business is your unique selling point. And my boldness is my unique selling point. And I saw that in you, like, immediately. I was like, oh yeah, this girl, like, I need her to show up. I need her to be more bold, because that's what's going to take you to your next level. Your boldness, not your logo, not how cute your website looks, not what content you put out on social media. Like, it's about you speaking up and being an advocate for what you believe. Like, and people can unsubscribe or they're going to subscribe. Either way, you got to just keep showing up as the person that you know that you were called to be. I think people are, instead of them being who they were called to be, they're being who they can be, who the situation that they're in is allowing them to be. So I want to thank you so much just for your boldness and your willingness to just really tap into your journey and be all that you were created to be. Like you doing it. And it's happening. You are helping women. And one thing that is really hard for me as far as being a coach, and I've been behind the scenes and not really been real vocal about what I'm doing and who I'm working with. But like I you now have your own tribe of women who you came to me and you were like, oh, she did this and she's getting results and she's excited. Like that's what it's all about. Like money does not create that feeling when you've actually genuinely poured into somebody with no strings attached, with no expectations, just strictly for the purpose of shedding light in their life. Like, and that's what my whole existence is about. Of course, I'm going to monetize that gift, but I believe that I'm supposed to definitely provide hope to the hopeless and make them see that they're not operating in their true gifts. So thank you so
Yes.
much, Rose, for
Thank you.
coming on and just really having a great conversation. And if you're listening to Rose, she is for the mompreneurs, guys. Unfortunately, Rose is not, she's not trying to help y'all. She want to help the moms. But if you know a mom, if you're a man and you're listening to this and you know a mom that could benefit, maybe it's your baby mama, maybe your baby mama is super negative and she needs some positive women in her life, then connect her with Rose, because Rose will get her right together. So I'm going to end it here. If you are watching this inside of the boot camp, congratulations for investing in yourself. Click that link below to book a consultation with Rose. If you're not watching this from inside of the boot camp, maybe you're seeing this on YouTube, go to www.enrichmarketingacademy.com so that you can get access to myself, Rose, and all of the other phenomenal business boss coaches that can help you go from overlooked to overbooked in your business. So thank y'all for taking time to chime in with us and stay to the end of this. Definitely go to Rose's website and download those free tools and guides that she has. And we look forward to seeing you on the inside of the boot camp.